They call it Italian penicillin. I'm showing you how to make homemade Italian pastina soup. We'll start with the whole chicken. You'll want to find one on the smaller side, closer to 3 pounds. And just go in with the classic mirepoix, some celery, carrot, and onion. I like to go ahead and season my broth just a little bit with a couple teaspoons of salt and a little bit of pepper. Then you want to add enough cold water to just about cover the chicken. It'll end up being about 10 to 12 cups. I like to cover it so that all that liquid doesn't evaporate out. It's gonna cook for about an hour, and that's it. Then the chicken's cooked for our pastina, and the broth is gonna be delicious. Like I said, I'm making pastina soup, but pastina can also be served as a really thick dish, sort of like risotto. But Mama likes it soupy. So I'm gonna chop up a little bit more of the mirepoix, a little celery, carrot, and onion. And that's all you need. I mean, you can tell the ingredients for this are super simple. Let's talk about the pasta. This little bitty pasta is what is traditional and classic in pastina soup. See, what does pastina mean? Literally means little pasta. You see that? Okay, so back to this. That's it, we've got our homemade broth, got our simple ingredients. Let's make our pastina. She's ready to go, smelling like a warm hug. At this point, bless you, she might need some of this pastina. At this point, we're going to take the chicken out, let it cool a little bit, and then shred the meat off. And then all I have to do is strain the broth. And that's the secret ingredient. I should probably sell this at a drugstore. Now it's time to bring it all together. I'm gonna start with a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and then I'll go in with my veggies. And then we're just gonna cook this down. I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of garlic and a couple teaspoons of salt. All right, veggies are tender, and now I'm gonna add in the broth. And then this is completely optional, but I think it really enhances the flavor of this whole pot, is I like to add in some chicken base. Now we just bring this up to a boil and let it simmer for about 5 minutes before we add in our pastina. Now in with our pastina. This pastina is tiny but mighty. It's gonna absorb a lot of that liquid. If you want a super soupy pastina, then you might wanna add a little less. I'm gonna cook this until the pastina is nice and tender. It's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, the final step is to stir in our chicken, a little black pepper, and let it go just about 5 more minutes. Look at that. Look at that. Time to dish out those warm hugs. I fully believe in the healing power of chicken broth. For this recipe, I totally recommend you make it homemade from scratch, but if you need to buy store-bought stock in a bind, I'll give you permission. Now, we Italians like to garnish it with a little bit of parsley and grated Parmesan. I don't know what to say. It just tastes like home, it tastes like comfort, it tastes like it's gonna make you feel better. But you don't have to be sick to enjoy this pastina, just saying. We're making a big pot of Italian penicillin.